two drunk assholes talking about whatever comes to mind. We present Filler with Jack Flake and Rob Harper. Filler is Jack and my insane rambling. In this episode of Filler, we go over X-Men Days of Future Past, and then go off on a tangent as always. Please do note that we are extremely drunk during these recordings, so if we do sound like unintelligent fools, just forgive us.
It was, when the Sentinels showed up, shit got real, and death happened. And I don't know if people complain, like, oh, the X-Men should be able to hold their own. That wasn't the point.
And it wasn't an X-Men, it was just like, what? It was Wolverine, Beast, Xavier, like it was not
the Indian
group.
guy,
Oh, you mean the future?
Any of the times.
I thought you meant back when they dropped the thing around the White House.
Oh no, in
the future, yeah, but these are these are like Ultimate Sentinels. They change to fight who they're fighting.
But I didn't mind the fact that when the Sentinels showed up, they killed, because if people go, oh well, the X-Men should be able to hold their own. They can fight
These Sentinels were made to kill the X-Men.
If the X-Men could hold their own, that future would never have happened.
Yeah.
Trask would have went, hey, my Sentinel's going to kick your ass. And they would have went, oh yeah? Tore its head off, shat down.
That's the whole point. These things are the ultimate mutant killers.
At one point, Beast's given a Sentinel a figure 4 leg lock and going, hey, Wolverine, you want to do like a off the top ropes elbow drop on this thing?
But I do like
that's not
even the future part was the part of X-Men. What is it called?
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that's the part I wasn't as enamored with. It was still fun, but it was a little weird. But even so, it was still great.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was much more Singer X-Men. I like more First Class X-Men. I like more, what's his name? Who made First Class?
Jesus made First Class. But yeah, I don't mind the Sentinels. I wish they would have designed a bit to look more like the comic book Sentinels.
Well, they do look like Nimrod and the Future Sentinels. They kind of look like those guys, but
Nimrod was always an odd choice for a name, but B.
Well,
also,
Nimrod's in the Bible, isn't it?
I
think it doesn't. It's more biblical than it later became. Like Nimrod means an idiot.
He was like an angular sentinel, which
and these guys kind of had the same shape, but they were more like nano sentinels, kind of.
I liked him in the comic books. He was the first Sentinel that I ever saw because I was an X-Men fan, and Nimrod was the first one. I was like, oh, I like that.
And he had like the red diamond in his chest.
Yeah, like that thing with the but. I wish they looked a little bit more, but since they don't have the costumes, I guess the decision was made not to look like comic books, and the decision was made not to look like comic books across the board.
Old Sentinels look kind of like the comic books. They're purplish-ish. They could have looked a lot more like the comic books, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the Fox X. They can't really change it that much because it is their conceit they've already lived with.
They said this is the way it's going to be, and they've kind of, and I understand that.
Now, although the Wolverine movie, they introduced the costume for him. He could have wore it.
At one point during the movie, I wish they would have. Kitty Pryde was shot, and they were like, "Oh my god, what's going on here?" And then Wolverine flipped her over, and half her head was blown off.
Oh, you wanted a super version of Helen Page?
That's a callback to another podcast that
you probably won't hear.
That won't even be heard. So it's, I don't know.
Yes, see the Jack and Rob Save Hollywood Suicide Squad. But
I think it was 16.
Huh? That was Filler 16. What?
Filler 16?
This is Filler 17.
Oh, this is which Jack and Rob Save Hollywood was it?
That's not Filler.
3?
That's Filler 3, I think. Yeah.
Jack and Rob Save Hollywood 3. Okay,
I think so.
Either way, I called back to another.
Anyways, point is,
was there a point?
X-Men: Days of Future Past was a good movie for X-Men. It was perfect blend of the two worlds. Singer did really well, but
retconned all the foolishness, the garbage, streamlined. You could probably watch all three of those original ones with all their badness.
Matthew Vaughn is the guy.
Still hate them.
No, the first two are good. The third one's just terrible.
I like the second one a lot.
Yeah, the second one's the best one.
The first one,
It served its purpose
for the time. It was
for the time. It was amazing. Yeah.
In hindsight, I'm looking from.
Oh, in hindsight, I wish it was Avengers.
I'm in the halcyon days of enjoyable comic book movies where you can make a good action thriller movie along with a space opera. And I have my pick and choose of
we were very spoiled.
Yeah, I'm spoiled at this point. So I admit that fully when I make this statement. The first one, The
first one was really good at the time, but thinking back, for sure, it's not great.
Yeah.
Second one still, I think it's probably still holds up. I haven't watched it in forever.
There's problems with it, but okay, whatever.
The second one's really just a Wolverine movie.
But the third one was such a disaster of epic.
Now,
I've never watched the whole thing. I've watched parts here and parts there. I couldn't be bothered.
Well,
I've never seen.
Really, the whole thing isn't. There's not much to it. Like if you've seen like
I've seen Kitty Pryde phasing through walls
That's
as
the
Juggernaut
end.
followed.
Yeah, that's the end.
I've seen at the end. I've seen some parts. I've never
Pretty
seen
much the end is the whole movie. It's like
I've never seen James Marsden die. I've seen the bridge.
Well, he
being
dies in
lifted
5
up.
seconds. Like he dies in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Okay,
and not even it doesn't show him die. He disappears. Like he doesn't.
Well,
Wolverine just finds his visor just floating where Jean Grey was dead. So she they don't even show it. She must have resurrected and killed Cyclops for some reason. They don't show it.
long story short, Days of Future Past takes all that stuff, cleans it up.
Oh, it retcons the whole damn thing.
It was
hilarious.
what had to be done. We said that's what they had to do, and they did it. And that's
my question: is the next movie without Matthew Vaughn's influence going to be as good? I don't think so. But and I know Hugh Jackman doesn't want to be Wolverine anymore. So that'll be the last Wolverine movie.
Would I be perfectly happy if they
just stopped making X-Men movies?
Making the X-Men movies?
I think they should reboot them as a Avengers style X-Men.
I think as an 80s, so that it still continues, but in the 80s, you don't need the same actors, the same characters. Everything.
I know what you're saying for the next movie, but I think they should they are going to make this Apocalypse movie, and it's like whatever. But I think they should that should be it, and they should just start from scratch, do an Amazing Spider-Man, and just reboot the whole damn series.
Amazing Spider-Man, but
good.
There's been 2 decades of the films and a start and a finish, rather than...
Well, I guess more like Batman. Reboot it like, you have 89 Batman, that whole series, and for Batman Begins, they rebooted it. Do that for X-Men. And make it X-Men in their costumes, because I want to see that.
The real problem with rebooting is that you have to have a cool-down time between the two. And right now...
Spider-Man didn't.
Okay.
To be successful?
If you want to do it right and have a successful franchise, you have to have a cool-down time between the two, because you have to... a reboot needs to be necessary for a reboot. You can't just take a franchise that just ended, restart it, and just start making shit movie after
Fox
shit
likes
movie.
doing that.
Well, Fox is...
Sony does too, I guess. It's funny. Because look at Fantastic Four, that it just ended and they're rebooting it, trying to reboot it. It's taking forever. And Spider-Man, they just did that. It's funny.
Spider-Man, I think they went, oh my god, the third one didn't get the acclaim that we thought. We were probably... we were to blame to that. We were to blame. I think I've said this before. I was working with a guy, Enzo. He went and took his family to see it at the movie theater, and he said people were laughing during a funeral scene of the Raimi.
It was
third
just so
one.
ridiculous.
Yeah, because it was that bad. And now I've seen parts of the third
one. I've seen the third movie. Yeah, that's terrible.
And it's pretty bad. And they went, okay, we were to blame. Our bad. When we're going to reboot this real quick, get that bad taste out of your mouth.
But why did they do an origin story again? Why couldn't they just keep going?
Because I think it was that bad taste, and they thought the best thing we can do is cleanse the palate. Yeah. They put some pickled radish. They used the chopsticks, threw pickled radish in their gobs, and went num 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 num. Okay, let's do this quick. The problem is they didn't do it right when they did it.
I guess so. Yeah.
They went bad.
But it's the thing I don't get about Amazing Spider-Man. All of the things are there. It seems like it should be great. He looks great. The costume looks great.
Andrew Garfield looks like Peter Parker. Yeah. Topher Grace didn't do a bad job. No, it wasn't Topher Grace.
He was Venom.
He was Venom.
It was The Hobbit.
Yeah. Jeremy Irons.
He was Bilbo. It was Bilbo who did it.
It was Jeremy Irons. No,
Frodo, not Bilbo. Frodo.
Oh, that was.
Was it? Was Frodo Spider-Man?
Frodo?
Now I've just got all these short actors mixed up.
They're not short. They use foreshortening.
No, they are short though. They are naturally short. Those kids are little.
Okay. No, that was Will Wheaton. So, anyways. They decided when they came back. Now you have
Tobey Maguire. He wasn't Frodo.
You haven't seen. No, that was Jeremy Irons. I told you. When you come back to the new ones with Garfield,
Elijah Wood is Frodo,
and
they're all like the same person.
They're all just
Topher Grace, Elijah Wood. Who's the other person I just said?
They all started in Home Alone, which is so that they all went when they put aftershave on.
No, weren't they all in? Weren't they all
Stand by Me?
Stand by Me.
Okay, yes. So River Phoenix was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 Tsunami.
I have a funny story about River Phoenix. Just remind me.
We can't just throw this in right now. Funny River
Phoenix.
Okay,
I'll give you a funny.
We're only 10 minutes into
a filler that we started talking about X-Men.
Yeah.
I watched the Ministry documentary called Fix.
Okay.
And Al Jorgensen was talking about he used to hang out with Johnny Depp at the Phoenix Room, or no, what was it called?
The Viper Room.
Viper Room. So,
why I know this stuff. I can't do math, but my mind is filled.
You know what bar Johnny Depp owned. Anyways, he was hanging out there, and he was really high and drunk and being an asshole. And he pretty much was like...
Al Jorgensen, not Johnny Depp.
Jorgensen, yeah.
Okay.
And Al Jorgensen was like, him and somebody else were partying it up, and they brought girls back to Johnny's office because Johnny ran away, and they're like, whatever, fuck it, who cares? And at the time, Johnny Depp was trying to be a musician, and they were kind of making fun of him. And so Johnny Depp runs back into the office, and they're like with these girls and drunk and doing drugs, and he's like, get out of here, like... And Al Jordan's like, no, fuck you, you're just poser, whatever. I'm just taking over. And then he got thrown out by a bouncer. It turned out that was the night that River Phoenix died right outside the bar.
So he was cleaning out all the detritus, all the
yeah. It was his best friend, like Johnny Depp's. So he was upset. And meanwhile, Al Jordan's just being an asshole to him.
And probably the police might be like, this guy just did a speedball somewhere, and he's right outside your establishment.
Yeah, it doesn't help that...
Mind if we just peruse? Yeah. And I don't think the constabulary would
I guess that too.
Open the door.
I was thinking more of the emotional impact that poor Johnny Depp just had his buddy killed, but you're right. They probably did want all the drug use out of the bar at the time.
And I do lack a lot of empathy, so maybe between the two of us, it's probably the truth.
Anyways, that's my funny story.
Okay.
Well, back to Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Why did it fail?
So River Phoenix is playing the new Spider-Man.
Yep.
And he...
From Beyond the Grave. Actually, his brother's playing... probably going to be playing Doctor Strange.
They chose a very tween Twilight audience to cater to, and I think
that what the problem was?
That's the problem. And I've told you this many times. There are some scenes the director is not at fault. He's got to be at fault for some things because he's the one who ultimately makes the movie. But there's some scenes when he's looking for the lizard and he's in the sewer and he puts these spider webs all over the place and he puts a camera there to catch a picture of him. And the camera pans up and you see him and it turns out he's made an actual Spider-Man spider web in this. It was shot well. The lighting was perfect. There's small things like that really work.
You think he was just too beholden to the executives?
But the story falls flat. At some point, they do is a bus falling off a bridge. All the tropes. They drag out all the tropes. And the worst part is the worst offense for a movie is. And I don't. It's not probably not the worst offense, but one of the big offenses is it becomes so boring during a crucial moment that I fall asleep.
Yeah, you fell asleep during it.
I did not see the end of the movie because when the lizard is finally being brought to justice and Spider-Man is on his way, he has to save a bus full of people before then because the lizard's going to escape because you don't know that he's going to eventually catch up and capture the lizard, like in case you don't realize that that's going to happen. And I'm just like, oh my god, like I've seen this movie before. I've seen this whole movie before in different formats, different ways. Nothing new. I think the underutilized the father, the police captain, the guy from Save Me.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Dennis Leary.
I'm an asshole. Dennis Leary. Yeah. Underutilized because he does a good job.
I heard the second one. He's like Ghost Dad the whole time.
I've heard that too. I'm not watching the second one.
You haven't seen the second one yet?
Fuck the second one. No, I can't.
I'd like to see them both just to be like, how bad is this? But I just can't bring myself to it.
Well, we could turn this into a verb right now. We're only 14 minutes in. Who out there wants to hear us turn this into
another
a verb?
time? We'll back to back the two Spider-Man movies.
No, we're not. I can't.
I'm gonna make you.
You want to hear me snoring? Because literally, I've already seen most of the movie now, and I fell asleep.
Yeah, but we'll be making fun of the whole thing.
Yeah,
that'll keep you awake.
A feather blowing up out of my mouth every time, almost falling in, but then I blow it back out.
Classic. Or your head,
yes,
nose, or your
my cap, my nightcap.
Yeah, your nightcap blowing the ball on the end. Yeah.
But the candle beside my bed in case I have to go to the outhouse. Yes.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, that's how I sleep.
He does. It's sad.
Is this a perfect world? No. I sleep curled up, crying, just naked with no sheets, wishing for death.
Oh, I I bet your girlfriend really appreciates that sentiment.
She does. She poises at the very edge of the bed and looks on, shocked, tentatively reaching out to comfort, but then pulling back, recoiling in horror. It's a whole thing. The videotapes, the hours of videotapes I have of it, just
it's like Paranormal Activity, but sad.
Yeah, there's ghosts, just a lot of depression. Anyways,
X-Men.
Where were we? We were 15 minutes. We got derailed.
The X-Men movies we were talking about originally. Let's bring it back to X-Men.
Okay, let's reel it back in. So, anyways, Ellen Page, he rolls her over,
and she's shot in the head,
and the side of her head's blown off. In a shocking moment, that's kind of juxtaposition to the kind of humorous things that have also happened in the movie.
I did love the point where Mystique is all the videotapes, or like the not videotapes, but the Super 8 video around when she ends up in the circle.
They change the aspect ratio of the film.
Awesome.
They make it grainy. It's now,
and it's just like in all different angles.
Yeah, it's like you.
It was such a great idea.
The Zapruder,
yeah.
Well, you see, you beat me to it. The Zapruder film type of feel. It's kind of wavy. It's kind of it's grainy. You can't really tell.
Totally, like same era.
Something
That's what
terrible is
for
happening,
sure.
and you're trying to use this new technology to capture it, but
and it's like shaky cam
because you're wound up, and there's no.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
No, it was a good movie, and
the only part I didn't like was where they implied that Magneto tried to stop the bullet that killed Kennedy because he's a mutant or something stupid. Mutant. Yeah.
They needed a reason to put him in prison, and they could have done any number
They could have
of things.
said it. I think it was the writing that I didn't like about that. They could have implied it, or they could have said it, but
or did something else.
Or they should have said that he was pro-mutant, not that he was a mutant. I think they kind of implied it. Maybe they didn't say one way or the other, but
they were tying it to the timeline too much. Where there was some other thing. If you wanted to. They used Vietnam as a 70s.
I like those parts.
They used like the
not as good as Dr. Manhattan in Vietnam, but still.
No, that was amazing. There was a lot of blue dong, but also a lot of
he had underwear on at that point at least.
But they used Vietnam. They used like the tension of the Cold War. They had a lot of things that tied it in. They didn't need Kennedy assassination.
Or just imply it, yeah. Or they could have just not said why he was in jail and then implied that it was because he killed Kennedy or he tried to save Kennedy.
Well, we could do a Save Hollywood right now. We can turn this into a Jack and Rob Save Hollywood and say, what is it that in the 70s, what was it that was happening that he could have been in jail for?
No, but you don't even have to imply you don't.
Or 60s because he was in jail 60s, for a while.
Yeah, it was 60s.
I misspoke.
64 was
because Vietnam was 72-ish. So
69 is
let's.
I don't know. It could have been anything. What it should have been was actually in the comic books. What he did was he killed a whole crew of Russian submariners. He sunk submariners. Yeah, he sunk a Russian sub.
So he killed Khal Drago because he's the submariner.
Oh, submariner. Because he's definitely not Aquaman.
See, that joke had some layers.
That was the layers. It took me a bit to get to it.
But then
I peeled it back.
You peel the onion and it revealed, which I appreciate. When I can get a good laugh out of you.
That was a good laugh?
Out of you, yeah.
That was it. I just don't find you funny anymore.
No, I know. But you did.
Yeah.
The X-Men.
And of course the Quicksilver scene was amazing.
He looked foolish. Everyone knew he looked foolish beforehand,
but it was kind of of the time, right?
It wasn't even of the time. It was out. He
was kind of glam,
which kind of he was kind of Bowie, Ziggy Stardust,
that's
but
what
kind
I think they were going for.
Pink Floyd-y, kind of like it was a.
It was a little too modern, I think, but still,
they added too much awesome. Quicksilver into
it should have been white, not silver.
But I can see where they're going. In the Carl's Jr. commercials, he looked terrible. In the
bad
promotions,
CGI and stuff, yeah.
He just looked, the costume out of context looked terrible. And even in the movie, it didn't look great. But the cinematography, the special effects...
And the music choice.
The music choice. You hit the nail right on the head right there.
That was great. What was it, Time in a Bottle?
It raised the costume and everything up out of the muck and went, okay, I suspend disbelief.
Yeah, and this is just some stupid kid. This is what he wears. I didn't like his hair color, but...
And it for me, and speaking to you as someone who wants to see the X-Men in the uniforms, the uniform didn't matter at that point.
No, it didn't matter at all.
If it had been the real Quicksilver uniform, it would have been out of place because he's a kid at the time, but...
Yeah,
but if it had been close, but when you
or had the lightning bolt at least.
When you see the Avengers come out in uniform and they stand there, and you get that that rush,
visceral,
they didn't have the uniform.
I don't want him as much. I want Wolverine, Magneto. Well, Magneto already is kind of in the uniform.
But I'm just saying, like, the uniform is an extra for people who care.
Yeah.
But doesn't necessarily matter.
Showing
when the rest of everything is good.
Showing the abilities, how they really work, is what really sold that.
You can say the uniforms would be distracting, blah, 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 blah.
It doesn't matter, obviously.
You put that kid in a foolish-looking outfit, and it was foolish, and done right.
Like I say, it's all about suspension of disbelief.
Immediately, you go, okay, I don't care about that anymore, because I'm now watching a quality, done scene.
And a great scene, yeah. That's why I think the Avengers going to have a hard time beating that scene. They're going for a different way, but still.
They've went with a adult Quicksilver from the comic books.
Which is fine.
They went with a kid that they created. So
but just the showing of his powers, they have to do it totally different, or because they're never going to meet that.
There's going to be you can flash it, or you can do now Quicksilver it. The Flash, meaning you see from the outside, he's moving very fast.
Just a blur.
He's a blur, and things are being reacted to, and he's doing it. Then you go the opposite. Him
showing
inside,
from his point of view.
The outside.
I hope they show from the outside, like what they did in the end of what was it, Winter Soldier, when they showed him.
When
they just see his.
He just wants to stand up, but he doesn't just stand up like a regular person. He stands up, and it's a blur.
Yeah.
And then he looks angry, so he's because they're prisoners.
Yeah,
they're
prisoners. Yeah.
It's Marvel. I trust 1%.
And it's Joss Whedon too.
He's
so it's
angry
like double
for
trust.
a reason. It's not like, oh, I want to show him angsty because it's Spider-Man as a kid. Like it's not him.
Yeah,
there's going to be a reason why he's angry, and he kind of just does like I'm so angry, and his arms move really fast.
Yeah.
Whereas, so there's the flashing it, which that is, or there's the Quicksilver.
And I hope they don't try to do the Quicksilver because it's been done now, and you can't do it as well. Because what are you going to do? It'd be just copycat, right?
It's Marvel. I watched a raccoon riding a giant tree break out of prison.
Yeah, but you've never seen a raccoon in a giant tree in another movie. Like, that's the thing. Like, you've already seen this gimmick, and with the same character.
It's Marvel.
What I hate is that I go on about it every time, but I hate the fact that there are 3 different companies own all the rights. Imagine what they could do if all of them just got together and made X-Men, Avengers, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, all in the same universe. How amazing would that be?
I don't want
That'd be unlimited money.
No.
Marvel just recently made $7 billion total for all their movies. They just blow people's heads off if everybody just cooperated.
At one point, I want them just to roll up a big shut the fuck up barrel of money up to and go, we're using Spider-Man. We're using look at this big barrel full of money.
Yeah, we're just paying you.
Shut your fucking mouth. Next, Garfield's swinging across the scene, whatever, and then
I love lasagna.
Yes, that's right. Then I hate Mondays. That's all.
That's all you want.
And that's all you want. And people would lose their full minds.
Yeah.
You can have your property back. We sold it to you, but we're using them once.
I just imagine how good the X-Men would be in Marvel's hands. That's what hurts,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
So
you
don't want all the properties together so that you could have a crossover of the stuff.
No, I want Marvel to have all the properties.
You want Marvel to have the properties because the people who are right now the show running, and they're not running out of talent. You can only make so many movies with the people you have on hand.
Well, that's what I'm curious what's going to happen when Robert Downey Jr. stops doing it, Chris Evans stops doing it.
I'm not.
Obviously, they've already replaced the Hulk, but
I'm not.
I'm just curious what's going to happen.
As soon as Robert Downey Jr. steps down, War Machine steps down.
Yeah,
just like when I was reading the comic books, that's what happened.
Yeah, I understand that for sure, but
that's just a plausible explanation.
Yeah, I understand.
When Captain America steps down, oh no, Johnny Walker shows up.
Or it's going to be Falcon. That's in the comics. Falcon's taking over Captain America
now. But I'm talking back when I was reading.
Me too. Yeah. But there is no Johnny Walker, but there is.
He's like
Falcon.
You know what? I'm pro-America. That guy there, he looked pro-American. He was old 50s America. I'm now, and at the time, I'm
80s America.
I'm 80s America. We are exceptional
Yeah.
in every way.
Yeah.
We are the best people on the planet.
Johnny Walker was my Captain America as a kid. That's the Captain America I read.
We are America. We're better. We're always right. And you tell me to do this, I'm going to do it.
And he would just beat the crap out of people.
Yeah, and there wasn't this moral where you go, "Hey, Captain America."
He'd kill people. My favorite one, he was fighting. There was two villains called Left Winger and Right Winger, and they had these torches, like they kind
I
and
know.
he tied them to a oil, like one of those huge things that contain oil, and he put their torch into it and blew them up. I was like, this is Captain America did this. It was hilarious.
And U.S. Agent,
He became U.S. Agent. Yeah.
Well, Captain America became U.S. Agent. The captain.
With that
With a black uniform. Yeah. Then Captain America became Captain America again. Again, listen to episode, what was it, of... you start out with the
character. Jack and Rob Save Hollywood.
16?
No, 3. Jack and Rob Save Hollywood 3.
Okay.
Jack explains character arcs.
You start out as a proto-hero. You build up on that foundation of a normal person or a proto-hero. You learn. You have some ups. You have some downs.
It's true, exactly. And then you have the person take him over. Yeah,
at some point,
exactly what happens.
Someone takes over not because I'm going to make some more sales. We don't kill that original character because we can put some chrome on the front. This isn't the 90s. This isn't Image. We're not going to have...
They did it again with when Bucky took over.
We're not going to have Lee Field draw a 16 variant covers. I think
they might have, though.
with a glow-in-the-dark one. And that's nonsense. That's not what this is for. You have him leave. You bring in someone else, someone who's different than them. The purpose isn't to replace that character. The purpose is to say...
It's a foil. They call it a foil.
Why the original... You missed the original because he
this
filled
character
a
is
specific
not
niche. Batman with Azrael, Superman with the 4 Supermans.
Captain America with Bucky and Johnny Walker.
You've been spoiled for so many years of getting to know this character, and he is perfect, that you go, whatever.
He's kind of boring now.
Oh, I don't care. It's Batman. Oh, it's Captain America.
You forget Captain America is supposed to represent what the United States should be.
He is what
Johnny Walker was what the United States was.
Right, exactly.
And you want what it should be.
And you go, oh, I've been spoiled. I've been.
It was slightly different with Bucky. Bucky was more like Captain America was dead, and Bucky felt he needed to take the mantle up as almost guilt.
But again, it has the same effect. Then that hero returns. Now that's what you need. And then his journey, he learned from that part of the story arc. That's back to that. It's very important. Now, U.S. Agent blowing up left ringer, right ringer.
Yeah,
that shows you. Oh God, Captain America wouldn't do that. I miss Captain America. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now, back to the original filler episode for Marvel.
Yeah.
If you want to replace Robert Downey Jr., War Machine is an excellent replacement.
Because he's a militarized version of Iron Man. And he kind of represents the people against militarization. And
the military complex that...
And he also, in the later ones, he represents a man becoming machine. Because he gets cybernetic up because he gets hurt.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's all cybernetic. So it's more of a... Where does where's the
man
soul
end and machine start when you're compiled? Okay,
and so they got that going for him too,
which is nice. And then if you want to replace Captain America, Johnny Walker steps in.
Johnny Walker or Bucky,
Bucky. They've already got Bucky there. So like, if Chris Evans says I can't do it,
Chris Evans is probably the least likely to stop doing it. But
this regime, I have to work out 6 hours a day to look like this.
Yeah.
I eat like a rabbit. I'd like to just get a calzone, like a hot pepper anchovy calzone, and just cram it in my face.
Yeah,
I can't because
a lot of them don't want to have to do the same thing over and over again. And Robert Downey Jr. keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do it anymore," and he does more because he enjoys it so much. He's having so much fun.
I think he likes to do different things, and the great thing about the way Marvel does it, they're not doing Avengers. When he goes, this last one, I want to try something new.
They'd let him go for a couple of years.
He has 2-3 years to go do that road buddy picture with Galifianakis. He gets to do like these things, and then they go, "Hey, Robert, you want to go?" Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm willing to come back. Yeah,
sure, why not? Like I've got it out of my system because he's an artist.
Yeah, he's a real actor. Yeah.
So he wants to mix it up.
Almost all of them are. That's the crazy thing about Marvel.
I never thought about Hemsworth when they brought him out of Thor. I was like, oh, who's this guy? I've seen him in
Have you seen Rush?
I haven't seen
Rush. Was really good.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, I was wrong.
He was good in, he was even good in Cabin in the Woods. And that was before that. He was like...
I thought, they found a guy who
looks like Thor,
who kind of looks like Thor, slap him in the thing.
But meanwhile, he's a pretty good actor, yeah.
But that was me when I was like, okay, is Marvel got
even Chris Evans, you're like, I don't think he's... But you watch Snowpiercer or something like that, he's like really good in it.
And he is Captain America. Like, they found the perfect... So much so that when they went, hey, that guy's already played Johnny Storm, they went, no.
It doesn't matter. He is Captain America. You don't think of him as Johnny Storm at all.
Oh, God, no. I don't even think of those movies at all.
Even if you did, I wouldn't even think of Chris Evans as him. It doesn't even make sense.
Why is Captain America with Jessica Alba? Like,
see, I wouldn't even think it. I would be like, oh, that's a different... Oh, no, it is him. Oh, well... So even watching Snowpiercer, it was halfway through the movie before I was like, "Hey, that's Captain America."
Oh my God, he's an actor.
Totally different, yeah. Like he's good.
So
and obviously Ruffalo is a really good actor.
Oh, he's such a good actor. Now Edward Norton, I love Edward Norton.
Yeah, he was a good actor too.
I'm not going to talk shit about Edward Norton ever. I love him in everything I see him in. Even like Get Snoochie or whatever that was.
I never saw that one. Yeah,
he is a good actor.
He was good in the Incredible Hulk too,
and he was really good. And that was a good.
But Ruffalo was better.
Jesus Christ! Are you going to make me say better than
he was?
I do love.
Well, we didn't get him on a full movie yet. It's hard to say, but he was really good.
But if you're going,
he was so subtle.
If you're going to pin me down to it, I'm going to say leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, he was so subtle, and it was just like. Just the thing, like, even just, like, his muscle tension and stuff in some of the scenes, you're like, holy crap.
Sideward glances that he makes, a little hand.
I love that scene where he's holding they're fighting, and all of a sudden it pans out, and he's holding the staff, and they're like, put it down. Like, you just see the anger in him, and he doesn't even say anything.
My favorite scene is, a lot of people go, Black Widow's getting him, and he pretends to rage out because he's kind of toying with her, knowing that he's in no real danger, and he wants to see what her angle is. A lot of people go, that's the best scene. That's where he shines. He walks onto the bridge of the helicarrier. He walks in, he's astounded, he looks at the technology, he's impressed, he looks over, sees armed guards by the door, he flashes back to, oh my God, like, just the police uniform thing, because he's been on the run for so long. Yeah. He flashes from, I'm impressed, looks back, oh my God, there's armed guards, to nervousness.
Yeah, he puts his hands together, and he's just like...
And then he...
Then they're like, really? You're putting a person like me on a flying vehicle?
He loses his confidence.
Or they thought he was going in a sub first. That's what it was. Really? You want me in a pressurized vehicle?
And then he moves off. Like it was just a.
They're like, yeah, we'll give you your own lab, and
the acting choices and just the way he did it. And I don't know if the director, because the director was good too, but
he's good. Joss Whedon's a very good actor director. Like he really gets things out of actors.
That scene for me is all it is a couple glances.
Ruffalo's an amazing actor.
Amazing, and so like
or the scene where he's like, the thing is, I'm always angry. Like that's,
and then he just strides forward confidently.
Yeah.
If there's no question, if they say we're making a Hulk movie, and
I don't understand why they haven't made it,
because they already got a couple in the can.
I think that's. It's not that they don't think they can make a good Hulk movie. They've already made ones that didn't so successful, so they're like, eh.
And they have one that they've included in canon. Now, me, personally, the next Hulk movie would
even the first movie is technically in canon. Because the second movie takes place after the first movie, and they reference things that happened in the first movie.
And see,
I've never seen the first movie. I've never seen the Ang Lee's Hulk. I've never seen it. But I heard it's terrible, but technically it is
wonderfully terrible.
With the Hulk dogs things.
The scene with his father at the end with the
you haven't seen
it. It's wonderfully terrible.
Yeah.
But me, after Avengers, and obviously they know better than me because I'm not telling them anything.
No, we cannot save Marvel's Hollywood because they don't need saving.
No, in fact, they should be here teaching us because we're know-nothing asses and we're just sitting here talking for free. We're not making a dime off any of this shit. I would have had Mark Ruffalo when he was still that age. Boom, a prequel that tied in with a scene with Black Widow that showed why she's so scared.
Well, they do. The comic book explained it.
But that first movie...
Or they should have done shorts or something.
A short, they're really good at that, but I would have gotten a good Hulk movie in the can. Yeah. That's just me. And again, I'm not running the studio, obviously, so...
I do want a good Hulk movie, but I like the Incredible Hulk, but it's not... It would have been so much better with...
My fear is they're going to do Planet Hulk or Hulk War.
That's the rumor, is Planet Hulk, yeah.
They're not good.
I never read them.
I've seen the cartoons, which apparently aren't as good as the books, and I've read some of the books. So but it's not. It doesn't fit.
It's a little weird.
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit Ruffalo,
and it doesn't fit into the universe at all.
Well, it fits kind of into Guardians of the Galaxy
because in Planet Hulk, he's Hulk all the time.
Yeah.
You're
kind of wasting Ruffalo if he's Hulk all the time.
It's a waste. It's like Idris Elba guarding Hemdo. Like I understand that we need a black character, and I would be insulted if I was Idris Elba. I would be. I'm disappointed that they wasted him on a character that could be. He
probably did it more
PC for the point of PC, which
I bet,
angers me to no end.
I think it was more probably that Kenneth Branagh was probably like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And Idris Elba was probably like, "Yeah, I want to work with Kenneth Branagh." You know,
yeah,
that's probably where it started.
Could be if you're rose-colored glasses. I'm thinking more sinister PC, but follow me with this. Kenneth Branagh should have said, "I want to work with Idris Elba." Idris Elba said, "You're gonna slap me in this? Any old person could do. You never heard of the fucking Black Panther? Let's get together on this." Yeah. And then they went to Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon would have went, "Oh my pants are so tight right now, like literally, it's
I think there's
in my neathers."
Actually, Joss Whedon especially. There's remember the guy who played early in Firefly? He'd be a great Black Panther. Like he's like perfect Black Panther. There's or the other guy. There's another guy. There's two different black characters, the assassins in Firefly, and they both would be great.
Early and follow me. Firefly, the movie came out in when I was.
That's a while. It's been a while. Yeah.
He had the chops then. He was a good the fight scenes. Him and Nathan Fillion at the end. He had it then.
Yeah.
Does he have it now?
I don't.
Idris Elba has it now.
Idris Elba's a little older, I think.
But for the King of Wakanda, I think that works.
Well, you imagine what you want to do with it.
And I'm just saying, physically, he's got the presence, he's got the chops. I haven't seen that other guy that played early.
Yeah,
anything.
He's got a weird name too. He's not early in the movie. He's the operative. Early's in the show. He's a skinnier guy. The operative from the movie is I don't know what he's done. Oh, he's in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh yeah, he was.
But he would be perfect because he's actually he's from Nigeria too. So you wouldn't have the whole people like, oh, why are you casting a...
Well, I'm not going to amaze and astound with this, but Idris Elba isn't...
he's British. He's from England.
Yeah, but he's not from Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think that's necessary for someone who plays the part.
This guy, I think he looks more like him, too. Idris Elba's great. There's no doubt.
Wasted on him, though. Just so they can say I have a black character in there. Oh, that makes me sick.
There could be... I don't know. There's enough characters. He could be Black Lightning. Black Life.
Well, we got on a tangent from X-Men. We really did.
We touched her, yeah. As always. X-Men was good.
It's a good thing this isn't a Save Hollywood, or we would not be able to use any of this filler.
Well, there you have it. X-Men was good. See you next time.
Son of a bitch! What?
BinlandOldTimeRadio.podbean.com